river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Hi everyone, welcome to Rescue Depression Kids. Today we are looking at the death of Eli. A scripture verse is taken from Hebrews chapter 9 verse 27. It is appointed to men once to die, and after comes the judgment. Enjoy our program today. Nature testifies of God. Today we are looking at the llama. Bye-bye. Hi friends, have you ever seen a llama before? The llama is so awesome. Let's learn about it. Did you know that the llama is related to the camel family? Its scientific name is Llama glama. Okay. Llamas are big animals. They grow up to 6 feet in height. They weigh between 280 to 415 pounds and are able to carry a quarter of their weight. Llamas have a long face, long inward facing ears, and big nostrils. Do you know what is a nostril? Good question. Ask your mommy and daddy what is a nostril. Llamas can detect danger using their sharp senses of sight, hearing, and smell. There are so many things we can learn about the llamas. But let us stop here. Continue learning about the llamas with your mommy and daddy. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Choose God today, choosing God today, choose God today, choosing God today, choose God today, choosing God today. Don't choose Satan. One more time. Choose God today, choosing God today, choose God today. Choosing God today, choose God today.
with Auntie D.
Hi boys and girls, welcome to Craft Time. I pray that you guys are doing well today. What do you think will be our craft? That's right, a dog. Wow, that dog was really loud, don't you think? I think so. Come on boys and girls, let's see what we need. Alright, so we will need a black marker. Also need another color marker. I'll be using pink, that's for the tongue of the dog. You'll need a pencil, scissors, glue. You also need palette sticks, about 7 of them. I only have orange, but if you have the brown ones or whatever color you have, you can use that as well. 7 of them, all right? You also need to draw and cut out 2 eyes, right? 2 round circles. You also need to draw and cut out the nose for the dog. I use felt. If you don't have felt, that's okay. You can use whatever paper you have. You need to cut out also the toes, the paws of the dog, the ears, and you can draw and cut them out how you want because that is your craft. And also tail, right? I forgot to mention hot glue, and the hot glue will be better than the paper glue when it comes for the palette sticks, but you can use it for your paper, right? So you need hot glue as well. So you can pause the video at this time, draw and cut out your stuff, and let's start our craft. Okay, so we're going to take one of our palette stick and we are going to cut it in half. And boys and girls, you need help for this because sometimes when you cut the palette stick, it flies out and it may be hard. So there's a technique in which to hold it so that when it cut it, it doesn't fly out, right? And you're going to cut it in half. And so the pieces, one will go on top of the palette stick like that, 5 of the palette stick, and the other will go at the bottom. Right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it even because mines are not even. Okay, so it's even now, and I am going to just line it up how it's supposed to be. Remember, it's 5 palette stick that you're putting together, and the other 2 you will cut 1 in half, and that is the whole. So I'm going to stick one of my palette stick, and I will show you where I'll be sticking it, not right up to the top but a little way down, and make sure that it sticks firmly, and then I'll do the same for the other. Okay, so this will be the back part of the dog, but I would say puppy, okay boys and girls, puppy, because I love puppies. I love the sound of it, puppies. So this will be the back side of the puppy. Let me just hold together, and then you will take the other palette stick and you're going to do the same. You're going to cut that in half with your scissors. And remember, like I said, there's a way in which you can hold it so that it doesn't fly out when you cut it, right? And that will be our feet for our puppy. Great. So we're going to turn over our palette stick because that's the back part, and we are going to take one of the feet and we're going to put some glue on it, a little bit on top, and we are going to stick it down there. Now you're going to stick the feet together, not far apart and not too close to each other, right? And also, if you don't have hot glue, you can use 2-sided tape, masking tape, scotch tape, or you can see what glue you have at home that will be able to hold it, right? So when that's finished, this is how it's supposed to look. You are going to take your ears, what you drew and cut out, and you're going to stick it onto your puppy or dog, right? And I will take my glue and I'll just put a little bit at the bottom, and I'm going to stick it here. Make sure that it sticks firmly. So I believe that you can use your paper glue at this time for the paper sticking on the palette stick, right? So I'll be sticking the other one right now. After we're finished doing that, what we are going to do, we're going to take our paw for the dog, or toes, yeah. and we are going to stick it onto the feet. Right? Now remember, this is your craft, boys and girls. So however you want your ears or tail or the toes to be, that is up to you, right? Because this is your craft, right? And when we're finished with that, we are going to take our tail, and I'm just going to stick it right there on the bottom of the one of the foot, sorry. And like I said, you can use paper glue to stick the paper onto the palette stick, but you have to put enough, right? Then you'll take your eyes now, and you will stick it onto your palette stick. So our dog, our puppy is coming into form. Just stick the other one. Great. And what I'm going to do now, we're going to stick our nose, and that's going to be between the eye, right? And I'm just going to stick it there. Oh, my puppy. But my puppy needs to get mouth and eyes and tongue. So I'm going to draw the mouth, and I'm going to draw the tongue. Then when I'm finished, I'll be putting the pupil of the eye. Okay. So you can take a look at what I'm doing here, and now I'm going to just do my eyes. Okay, I'm finished, and you guys know I love to put black around my stuff, right? So I'm just going to outline it. Right, so it's finished. Oh, nope, it's not finished. I need to put the pink for the tongue. Whatever color you have, you can put brown, pink, red, whatever color the tongue of dogs or puppies look like. Right. And there you have it. Oh, my puppy looks super cute. So what we can do now, you can have a string. You can leave yours like that. But I want to hang up mine when I'm finished. You can hang it on your door, on your wall. So I'm going to take a piece of string. I'm using twine. And I'm going to stick it at the back of the puppy. And I'm just going to put my string there. I don't know what puppy my own look like. Do you guys know? Can you see? And tell me. Does it look like a chihuahua or a poodle? What does it look like? I don't know. So there you have it, boys and girls. Let's see it hanging up. Ah, beautiful. I hope you guys have a blessed day and enjoyed our craft today. Bye.
Story time. We are reading from the Bible. 1 Samuel chapter 4. Now the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistine to battle, and pitched beside Ebenezer, and the Philistine pitched in Aphek. And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel. And when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Wherefore had the Lord smitten us today before the Philistine? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us from the hand of the Philistine. So the people sent to Shiloh, that they might bring from thence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, What meaneth the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood that the ark of the Lord was come into the camp. And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God is come into the camp. And they said, Woe unto us! For there had not been such a thing theretofore. Woe unto us! Who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods which smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and quit yourself like men, O ye Philistine, that ye may not be servants unto the Hebrew, as they have been to you. Quit yourself like men and fight. And the Philistine fought, and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man into his tent. And there was a very great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. And the ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came, lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside, watching. For his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, What meaneth the noise of this tumult? And the man came in haste and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years, and his eyes were dim, that he could not see. And the man said unto Eli, I am he that came out of the army, and I fled today out of the army. And he said, What is there done, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines, and there had been also a great slaughter among the people. And thy two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God is taken. And it came to pass, when he made mention of the ark of God, that he fell from off his seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck brake, and he died. For he was an old man and heavy, and he had judged Israel 40 years. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was with child, near to be delivered. And when she heard the tidings that the ark of God was taken, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself in travail, for her pain came upon her. And about the time of her death, the woman that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. And she named the child Ichabod, saying, The glory is departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. Boys and girls, now what do you think about Eli's two sons? Let me advise you a little, boys and girls. Don't be like Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas. They were disobedient, and they did what God told them not to do. Now, mommy and daddy, do not make the same mistake that Eli made, and he did not correct his sons, but allow them to do what God told him for them not to do. Instead of correcting them so that they could have made right decisions, he allowed them in doing things that were displeasing to God. The part that interests me the most, boys and girls, is the word Ichabod. We clearly see there that the word Ichabod means that the glory of God has been departed. Let us never reach a point where the glory of God has been departed from our lives. Boys and girls, please be obedient to your mommy and daddy. And mommy and daddy, please correct your children in the right way and train them that God will be pleased with them, so the word Ichabod could never be pronounced towards your house.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.